Oppa Gundam style. Should be open all my Gundam till I style. Is that how it goes?
Pretty
I'm
good.
sure. Welcome back to Wow Cool Robot. After Thanksgiving. Woohoo.
We've given thanks for Gundam. We've given thanks for podcast. I'm Max. I use he, him pronouns. My co-hosts are...
I'm Dan. I use he, they pronouns.
I'm Yuria, she, her.
And we're just chilling. We personally can't relate to the troubles in this episode because we've already clinched our playoff position. So we get to watch everyone else kind of scramble to get their points in line. But it's fine. We're in the playoffs. We're good. We get to watch from a nice vantage point as Sei and Reiji do their cool sports and tricks. I didn't realize that we'd be getting, oh, that's a baseball in Gundam.
Yeah, I'm so glad that somehow, some way, Gundam Build Fighters managed to figure out a way to make a baseball scene.
It's so good. You got Star Platinum, both pitching and catching. You got, what was Darby's stand?
Oh,
shit. I should know this.
Yeah, it's, why am I forgetting? I only remember Darby the Gambler and Darby the Gamer.
Darby the Gamer.
Oh, you mean Dagul? Or...
Oh, right. Yeah.
Atum. That was his stand.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I was thinking of Arcana, but right. Battle in Egypt used gods.
They done ran out of the Arcana. That's almost like Atum.
What if Gundams did have stands?
That would be...
Tamino, get on it.
That would be harrowing.
I mean, a Gundam is a stand if you think hard enough about it.
Yeah, I mean... And honestly, like, a lot of the early UC new types also kind of have stands. Like, there is that one point in Zeta where Haman, like, manifested, like, a fucking, like, psychic phoenix. That's basically a stand.
Well, we're halfway there, then.
Oh, boy. We are here to talk about Build Fighters. And Yuri, I believe that you have the summary for this first wonderful episode.
I do indeed. Episode 13. Battle Weapon. You hush. Alright. We start off with Reggie nursing his wounds, and the flashback reveals that yes, he did in fact beat back all three of those goons. And the bruising was more than anything. He took the baseball back to his wrist while wearing his bracelet. However, it still hurts. The tournament is now entering a new phase where everyone has to draw blocks using a giant Gashapon machine. And each weapon, or each number has a specific weapon that seems to be given to each of the Gunpla. Sei and Reggie draw their lots, and they are next against the Thailand champion, Luong Delara. The fights go a bit chaotic as we have examples such as the Camphor Amazing winning with a set of Tonfas against a railgun, and the Wing Gundam Finis just basically slicing a Wadam in half with scissors. Then Sei and Reggie's fight come up, and they find out they have just 3 baseballs that are essentially just the RB-79 balls colored white, and even a little baseball hat. And then it's soon revealed that the fight is rigged in Luong's favor as a baseball stadium just pops up. And the Abagor Bine is wielding a Kanabo like a bat, and it's now revealed that Luong is in fact also part of a national baseball team. Reggie, not really having any idea how to play baseball, just throws the balls at him. The second one is batted back. Reggie tries to catch, well, he does catch it, but it then reveals his injury. Sei activates RG mode to assist and give the Star Build Strike more power to help Reggie in this. And then with the third strike, using, again, the Star Platinum pose with the leg up, and the fact that even in the episode, it's revealed to be just like a manga baseball. The third ball goes flying so hard that even when Luong tries to bat at it, it just pushes him back, flying through the stadium wall, and basically ring out, winning the match for the Star Build Strike.
This shit whipped. This shit's so fucking cool. We got Todd Gonzalez on the 1s and 2s here.
This is basically just the Kojima method of, I want this in. We're having a baseball episode.
Yeah, like, I'm so glad that the show found a way to do the kind of, like, gimmick episode in such a hysterically fun way. Kind of like how Dragon Ball Super also had that baseball episode where it turns out that like Yamcha was the best one there because he's the only one who actually plays baseball.
Yeah.
It's great. It's so, oh god, this episode is so good. We learn first off that the reason Reiji's wrist exploded is because he just like took a fucking like metal bat hit to his like gold bracered wrist with it. Buddy, that's not right. That's not how to win a fight.
Doesn't seem to have broken anything at least, but oh dear. It is sure red.
It's really funny. I mean, it's so shonen how basically like this is only an issue for one episode and he overcomes it by just like gritting his teeth and like firing up his will. Like, you know what? If that was how everyone's injury could like be taken care of, oh, I want to live in a shonen world. Who the hell is screaming outside? God, there's a bunch of school children, and I swear to God, they play tag for like an hour and a half outside after school, but they scream bloody murder, and it gets me every time.
Loud. No!
Yeah, they're using beam attacks.
Exactly.
Oh no, it's me as a kid when I was watching Dragon Ball at like 10 years old.
Oh, we are all, absolutely. So we see, we cut after that opening, we get the intro. The last time we hear it, funny enough, we're in front of the Portia building, and Ral and China are here. And we learn that, like, China's staying with relatives so she can cheer Seion, but, like, it's a little Abbott and Costello comedy of errors where he's like, oh, you don't have to watch me every day. And China's like, well, maybe I have other things to do that are better than watching you. And it's really awkward. And then Rambo makes a joke I didn't understand.
Yeah, his butt itches.
He has butt disease.
I've seen this joke before, and, like, the whole, you have hemorrhoids thing? I've seen it before, and I still don't get it.
And they do it again later, but not a third time. It just sort of happens.
The fact that he does it in front of when Sei's being awkward with Gina, and then when Reiji's being awkward with Isla, makes me think it's some kind of like distracting, like awkward kids like with having crushes on each other thing. Again, I don't know why it has to be like Rambo Rao has butt disease and he has hemorrhoids. I really truly don't understand it. If he had Pepto-Bismol, maybe he wouldn't have died.
Maybe. So he, so we then see, like, Reiji and, Isla meeting up, and they, like, talk about the fight from the other night, and, apparently, like, Isla's just kind of annoyed because, though Reiji might not understand it, she really could easily take those guys and beat them up on her own.
I believe it. She's an enhanced human.
Yeah, I think she might be a new type.
I think she might be a real-life new type in Gundam Heaven. Who's to say?
Uh-huh.
And Reiji's like, it's a matter of family honor to protect you. And Isla, like, blushes and twirls her hair and is kind of like, thanks, Reiji, and, like, jogs off, like, I guess happy to kind of get that weight off her chest. And yeah, this is when Rambaral does the funny, I have an exploding butt bit, when Reiji's like, oh, you have hemorrhoids, dude. Again, this is clearly some kind of, like, Japanese cultural joke that I'm too American to understand.
So Isla, like, checks in with her manager on their battle bus.
Yeah, the fucking, like, Eggman Sonic the Hedgehog trailer.
I feel like I'm starting to notice over the last few weeks with a lot of podcasts that I've been on, there's sort of a trend of mobile battle fortresses in the 2010s.
All I'm saying is that I think Fast and the Furious could exist in Gundam Heaven.
Well, of course, yes.
This is a joke that people who listen to both our podcasts will only understand.
And like subscribe to our Patreon.
That's right. You gotta have paid money to understand that joke.
So, anyways, Gunpla Battle World Championship.
That's right.
We get like a little thing where you have to do OSP for your weapons.
This is so funny.
You get a big gachapon machine where you have to like turn the crank and you get a number, and whatever your number is determines what weapons you get. But who knows what those you won't know what they are until the battle starts.
Yeah. I didn't write down every number that we get here. Notably, Isla gets my favorite number, which is 16. And Meijin Kawaguchi, since he's the best to ever do it, he does get number 1.
I remember Mao got number 7.
Lucky.
But the important thing is that Sei and Reiji, also very important to note, Reiji's wrist is still fucked up, so he doesn't really want to turn the crank. He makes Sei do it. And they get number 44, the most unlucky number in Japanese culture.
Guido Mista is losing his fucking mind right now.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we don't know what this will refer to, but we do know that they're up against Luong, who got number 43. So I don't know if you're just up against the number next to yours or what, but regardless, we know that they're up against Luong. And he walks up to them all stoic and badass, and then he just kind of starts geeking out about how cool they are and how excited he is to fight. And it's like, oh, he's actually not that scary. He's just a cool guy.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
but Reiji doesn't shake his hand.
Yeah.
Reiji, he's doing the Dolman thing where Reggie is bragging about he's going to win no matter what, even though, you don't have to win every single battle.
Well, I mean, we learn next episode. That is true.
Yeah.
It's very sad when it happens.
Yeah, he won't shake his hand, I think, because, the hand he would have to shake would be, the one that got hurt.
Yeah, his wrist exploded. And that's a really funny payoff later when he shakes him with his left hand. But they're going to square off. We see Mashita's assistant. She's in the wings, and she's thinking, oh, the boys are going to lose. This is all set up. I don't know if it was... I mean, it had to have been set up that they got number 44, because, of course, I mean, we knew they were going to fight Luong. But either way, we see the battles. We see Kawaguchi gets these cool tonfas. He fights a Zaku Flipper that has this railgun that doesn't know how to use it. Notably, the Zaku Flipper is painted like Armored Trooper Votoms, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it was a Zaku Amazing that just had a weird kind of scoped out head. But no, it is this thing called a Zaku Flipper that just is what if a Zaku was underwater and also a Sam Fisher?
Uh-huh.
Well, it can't be a Zaku Amazing because Leijin is right there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, not Zaku Amazing. The Zaku F2000.
Oh, okay. Yes.
That's what I meant. Yeah, it has a kind of big, bulky, square shoulders. But again, the Zaku Flipper is so stupid looking. It just has all these scopes on it. But it's painted green like Votoms, and it loses because Kawaguchi kind of chastises the pilot for, you don't know your weapon. It's fine.
He fired the railgun, just got knocked on his ass right away.
Yeah.
I guess because he tried to fire in midair. There's kickback to it.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Mao is playing Splatoon.
Yeah, he gets a fucking spray gun.
This is not a weapon.
Yes. Thankfully, he just sprays his opponent in the face with it and takes his weapon, which is a big hammer.
Yeah, and he's fighting a Zeus Gundam from G Gundam.
Oh.
I didn't notice the chariot, so point deduction, very sad. But he's he kind of cheekily goes, oh, there wasn't rules about taking your opponent's weapons. He wins. And we see Isla. She gets these things that I can only describe as the Gusion Rebake Full City Shield Scissors, which did not exist at this point in time, because this show came out in 2013 or 14, and IBO wouldn't come out for another year or two. But regardless, it's just kind of a big-ass pair of, it's a shield that can split into scissors. And she cuts a goon in half with it. Goon being the actual name of the mobile suit that she cuts in half. Very fucking seed-ass design. Nils gets the coolest weapon I've seen in my life, by the way. It is a Stingray. I like it. I mean, it's it's garish and over-designed because it is a seed enemy suit, but it's called the Goon. You gotta love it.
Yeah, Niels gets to he hangs a dude with an energy lasso.
He has a fucking beam yo-yo. That is the sickest weapon I've ever seen in Gundam.
Yeah,
well, it's the Combattler yo-yo.
Okay, so is this whole episode just kind of a very old mecha reference then? Because we got the Votoms, or I guess no, I'm sorry. I think it's the next or the third episode where we see there's a Psycho Gundam being painted another 70s 80s mecha color, but Regardless, again, Nils has a beam yo-yo and it's so fucking sick, and he like literally hangs a Dryson with it. It's kind of gruesome a little bit.
Yeah, it's wild. The next one is like it's Fellini versus this other guy. The other guy just got like a pistol, but like scaled down to like human sizes, so he can't use it with his giant gunpla fingers.
Well, yeah, he's in a Wadom.
Yeah, the Wadom is a little weird like that, so that actually makes sense.
It's like 40 meters tall, I think. It's twice as tall as a regular Gundam. So if he had a regular suit, he'd be able to use it just fine, but he can't. He has to pinch it between two fingers. And then Fellini has heat scissors, but he does not even open them. He just heats them up and like slices down the middle.
Yep.
This is the Italian style.
Keeping up the tradition of defeating Wadoms in very humiliating ways, just like in Turn A.
Yeah. And then, so we're squaring up. We're getting ready for Sei and Reiji's match, and Luong walks up, and China's in the crowd with Raul, and she asks him, "Hey, is he any good?" And Raul responds, "He's like Shar Aznable, Johnny Raiden, or Anavel Gato." All right, man.
She doesn't know who any of those are.
We get it. You watched UC Gundam. I will say, ups for him referencing Johnny Raiden. Like, give me like the weird MSV characters that don't show up ever. I want to see what Shin Matsunaga's up to.
We come to the main attraction of this episode. Build Strike gets from case number 44 a hat, a big catcher's mitt, and three baseballs.
Yep. They are RB79 balls painted white.
Oh,
it's so fucking cute. Like, I love this. And they wouldn't do this. They wouldn't build like a high grade effects kit that has like a vaguely high grade shaped visor and like the little balls you can hold. But God, I want it so bad.
And
like, Mashita laughs his ass off seeing this, but he doesn't know what a baseball is.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like, "Oh, this is funny. What does he have though, my dear assistant?"
Yeah, he's got baseballs, and then because he got the baseballs,
this is so insane.
An entire baseball stadium rises up from the ground, complete with field, pitcher's mound, and a scoreboard.
That's a baseball.
And up against him is Long Dollara. He's got the big Kanabo, and he's gonna use it like a baseball bat.
This fucking rules. This is hysterical. There's like a Haro painted like a baseball that's like hovering behind the kind of like catch zones as the umpire.
Oh yeah,
you
can't make the Haro the balls. You have to make the Haro the referee.
Exactly. The funniest part is we see Dollara walks up to the plate with the Kanabo, and he also has the fucking visor. It's like dangling off the Abagorbine's horns. It doesn't fit on his head.
I didn't notice that. That's so good.
This is the best episode of an anime I've seen in my life. And Raul, ever the strategist, is like, "Oh, this is gonna be really good because like no one knows Reiji's pitching style. Of course, also no one knows that Reiji's wrist is in a billion pieces."
He says that, I mean, the average of even the greatest batter is only 30%, so the pitcher has a 70% chance of winning. But then we find out...
That's insane. What was that? That was such a weird thing to say. I don't think that's true, Raul.
Because my star Build Strike is a genetic freak.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a genetic freak and he's not normal.
He's not normal because he has the RG really good system inside him.
Luong Dollara, as it turns out, was a member of the Thai national baseball team, was scouted by the major leagues, and his batting average was 89.9%.
Pretty fucking good.
So the first the first pitch ends with like a foul ball. They like have to do another one, and we see that like Reiji's wrist is like all fucked up, so it's affecting his ability.
Can't throw good.
The second one, he bats it, and it Reiji catches it in its hands, and he kind of like fucks up the mitt.
Yeah, the mitt. I mean, that
yes,
is
his arm
belying what
explodes.
happens. The mitt fucking shatters and explodes, and like I really I don't know if we mentioned the first time he hits that foul ball where like the actual ball is a real thing because it leaves the arena and like knocks a soda out of Kirara's hand and it like fucking like nearly like brains one of the people in the crowd as it like spins to a halt next to his seat. It's so choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, the second ball, the glove explodes. So now Sei is like, all right, we got to activate the RG system. And I guess this is a reference to real grade mobile suit gunpla kits.
Yeah,
because like
they only had the build strike real grade, no star build strike. Or maybe if there was. I don't know if there was a P Bandai thing.
I think it was only P Bandai, in fact. Because I remember seeing there's a 1/100. This isn't right. Maybe there's not a real grade.
Yeah, it's the radial general purpose system, and I guess it lets him just redistribute. It's explained more in detail later, but
kinda.
It lets him put all the power into like his pitching arm.
Yeah, it's the fucking Star Trek full power to shields type shit. I guess the thing the animation of it is that it kind of like you see the inner frame glow, and I guess it's a reference to real grades being that will like soon. Or I guess they just were a thing.
They were a thing for at least 3 years.
Right, yeah, because the first record is like 2010 or 2011 with the grandpa. Yeah, the whole thing is like real grade kits have that inner frame and high grades don't. So like when the inner frame glows, it's like, oh, it's real grade. It's the RG system. It stands for really good. And he activates it and it concentrates it like all into the right arm. And Sei tells him exactly how to move, and he like, twist your arm back, swing your leg up, slam it down, and as he throws, like the fucking eyes of the star build like light aflame, and he like this is so funny. He throws the ball and Delara hits it, but like he hits it, but he still gets pushed back and like fucking blows up the stadium as he like flies back into it. It's really funny, and the funniest part is you see behind the star build as it stands in victory that the ball was traveling at 870 kilometers per hour. Well, I did the math, and I don't know if I did the math correctly, because I was typing this like one-handed on like a little notepad document, half my screen. But a 17.7 meter, because I believe that's how tall the star build is, 17.7 meter Gundam throwing a ball 870 kilometers per hour is the equivalent of a roughly 5'10" person throwing the ball at a staggering 55 miles an hour. So that's really slow.
Oh, it's slow. I didn't know.
Oh, I mean, like Major League Baseball, you're hitting like 100 sometimes.
Okay.
This is half. This is like a little bit more than half the speed of like fucking Randy Johnson. This is like baby numbers. It's very funny that it's like lit on fire and shit.
That's great.
It's good. And the star build's arm falls off and explodes. Very sad.
Rip.
It's fine. Sei probably has like a briefcase full of spare arms and legs.
Just opens up his trench coat he's suddenly wearing, and it's all arms and legs.
Yeah, what are you buying? Delara congratulates the boys, and Reiji ends up shaking his hand with his left hand because his wrist is in pieces, and Masha's assistant is like mortified and silent and like won't say anything when Masha is like, what happened? How did they win? So I guess she has skin in the game or just feels really bad as an assistant.
Yeah. One thing that like happens during this like big epic pitch is they do like this little visual thing where instead of showing like the face plates for the gunpla, it shows like the face plates of the fighters.
Yeah, it does the G Gundam thing. It's really cool. I mean, we saw that in like the kind of ending graphics where it's like they're wearing the suits as if they're clothes.
Yeah, they're wearing like a little cosplay.
Yeah. It's just in this part, it's much more like G Gundam, like when the God Gundam is up against the Master Gundam.
Oh, it's so good. That shot where like the face like poo 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 comes into pieces like over him. Oh god, G Gundam's so good. We get the credits. We get the ending song for the last time. Spoiler alert: this one's better than the other one. We see Isla. She ain't doing so well. She's like in her super suit and like has to take the helmet off, but like she's like resting up, and then she sees Sei and Reiji walk by, and of course they don't know her because they don't know that she's goes in that suit when she battles. I guess they've literally never seen her fight before. But I guess this is when she learns Reiji's name finally because she hears Sei mention it. because again, they've had these interactions and I don't think either of them know each other's name.
Yeah.
That's kind of the episode, though.
Woohoo.
Gotta say, tremendous, very, very, very good.
All right, I will do my best to summarize episode 14. I only wrote notes for about half the episode. Let's do it anyways. Okay,
Hell yeah.
So, episode 14, codename C. For the cold open, we open with a flashback to Isla being given the offer to take part in the Gunpla Battle World Championship. Then, we go to the present as she looks up Reiji on her future phone. There's a new OP! I don't know if it hits as hard. It's still good, just doesn't hit as hard. The episode proper begins with a montage of Gunpla challenges. Sei must perform sharpshooting while Reiji's arm heals. Several Gunpla take place in a Tamaire competition. Tamaire? Might be Tamaire.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Mao, Sei, and Reiji take part in a triples match, and win. Our heroes have a meal, and Reiji explains that his arm is almost fully healed. They have been undefeated so far, but so are the other, top 12 fighters. Or top 10. Top 12 including them. If they lose, the rankings could still change it against their favor. Chairman Mashita is freaking out because he really, really hates Reiji's guts for reasons we won't fully explain, and will do anything to keep him succeeding. As it turns out, anything includes hiring an elite professional criminal by the code name of C to help him cheat. The next Gunpla battle is a series of Gunpla races. Players must race Gunpla across the track, and points only go to first place. Any and all Gunpla are permitted, even fighters and support craft, but conversely, players are permitted to shoot down their opponents. As Sei works on modifying Build Strike for the race, he orders Reiji to go to the hospital to ensure his wrist is fully healed. On his way out, he runs into Isla, who reveals she knows his name. She asks him how he can take this so seriously if it's a game to him, but to him, the fact that it's a game allows him to take it seriously. It's fun to him. He likes it. And she leaves upset because, for her, Gunpla has only brought pain. The races begin. We watch all the important characters who aren't Sei or Reiji win their races. Now, it's time for Sei and Reiji. Meanwhile, Mr. Raul drives China to the match and reveals that somehow he is 35 years old. As they leave the parking lot, Mr. Raul spots a shady figure and follows him. The race begins. Build Strike easily takes the lead and uses its energy absorber to absorb the blasts that are sent its way and turn it into big energy wings. But on the third lap, it gets pulled into a lake. As it turns out, this is Mr. C, who has set up a little pirate Gunpla station to interfere in the match. People are watching this, including Rinko, who is losing her shit. Mr. Raul is able to track down the shady figure, Mr. C, and gets into a fight with him. The two duke it out, and thankfully Mr. Raul is able to get a hold of an incoming fist and an incoming kick, and just basically toss him onto his little setup, crushing it. This frees Sei and Reiji, and while they are able to break free and advance, they do not make first place. Instead, they get second place, and this is enough to send them into a point where they might not make it if they lose their next match.
Aw, beans. Yeah, this was a very wild episode. I really like that they're showing us kind of
Oh, I forgot to note the post-credit scene.
Oh yeah.
In the post-credits, Chairman Mashita celebrates with a glass of white wine, but there's a kick at his door. It's Reiji, and he's here to get some answers.
Oh, I really like how this show, more lately than before, kind of like showcasing these interesting ways to do like a battle competition that's not just like punch, kick, beam, attack.
Mm-hmm.
like having it be a race is really, really fun, especially seeing how different characters like put vehicles together, using that term very, very loosely.
Yeah, I like that. I like the little sharpshooting match because there's something really fun about seeing Sei having to like basically control the Gundam like it does seem a lot like he's just using a mouse to shoot a target in a first-person shooter.
Yeah, he's playing fucking Valorant.
Yeah.
So it starts out, it's a snowy day. We get like a flashback of Isla being met with for the first time about Gunpla battles, and she's being promised that, like, you know, her ability will increase, and she kind of like, she doesn't really seem too jazzed, but she'll do it. And then in the present, she's like looking at her opponents, and they have like letter grades for some reason, and like Sei's really shitty and Reiji's like really, really good. But as she looks at Reiji's photo, she just wonders like why he does it for fun. How does he have fun with this?
Mm-hmm.
Curious. New OP is not as good as the first.
Yeah, it's okay. I appreciate it. I like the visuals more, but I think the song's not as good. I love the little like bit where I love it, like showing all the like major fighters. I love the shot of like Chairman Mashita with like a cage and a Gundam behind him. Like it's interesting visually, but again, it's just like it's really hard to beat the first OP. Yeah.
What's your take on it, Area?
First one, probably, yeah.
Yeah. So after the OP, that's fine. The tournament progresses. I really do like that Sei is kind of just in the build Mark II for this kind of like training montage. Like the star build is Reiji's Gunpla. Like Sei's using the kind of like backup one. But again, he's like doing good enough that like they haven't lost anything yet. It's kind of amazing.
Mm-hmm. It's really funny seeing like a bunch of Gundam take part in Tamaire, which I did look this up. It is a game played by like elementary schoolers where they take balls and try to throw them into their baskets. And whoever gets more balls in first wins.
That's really good.
Yeah, all of the like players are. I think the Gunpla are divided up into like shirts and skins.
God. We see them in another round where they're in like kind of a 3-on-3, and it's them and Mao and a Mercurius. Notably enough, the Mercurius is being piloted by a blonde hero Yui from Gundam Wing, so I guess he's also dead. Good for him. He finally did it despite his best efforts.
Despite Glory of the Losers.
Yeah. Oh God, we can't.
I'm sorry for reminding you of Glory of the Losers.
And Mao, you know, Reiji's like, hey, why'd you help us? And Mao's like, I'm helping you now so I can fight you at your strongest later. It's the warrior's promise. And they all eat their food later that day. And Sheen asks Reiji about his injury, and he's like, oh, I'm fine. My wrist is back together. And we learned that it's the sixth qualifier period has ended. We have the 7th and 8th coming up. And it's not really set in stone if they're going to win, because like literally every single main character has also won all of their matches so far. So it's still like anyone can make it into that final round of 16. Mashita kind of like freaks out about how the kids are still undefeated. And he's like, you know, whining about how he doesn't want this to happen. And his assistant asks him why he cares about the boys so much. And he's just like, they bug me. I just don't like them.
Don't like them.
Has anyone questioned whether Sei and Reiji have bad vibes? So he hires a fucking like underworld Gunpla hitman.
I fucking love that. I love the notion that you know, that there's an underground scene of just like cheaters. Like,
yeah.
I know like I know there's like history of this happening in like actual professional sports, but like it is fun.
This is not a professional sport. This is plastic robots.
Yeah, and also he is basically set up. The way they talk about it does make it look like he's going to murder them.
I mean, that would be so... Like, the show wouldn't do this because this is clearly a show made for children. But holy fuck, can you imagine, like, a plot of, like, this dude trying to, like, assassinate them? Just, like, out of the blue?
I want this...
Terminal just pops up and says, "Reminder: this is a Gundam show."
Yeah, I made this. But his name, he's codename C. He's fucking Agent 0047. So Kiraba announces the 7th period, which is a race. As Dan mentioned in the summary, only first place actually gets points for it. But you can use equipment, you can use tanks, you can use jets, you can use firearms, and we see everyone kind of repairing. Fucking, this is important. Nils Nilsson is building Fuunsaiki, the Gundam horse from G Gundam.
Yes! I'm so glad the Gundam horse is here.
I need to take my Master Gundam with Fuunsaiki and my Sengoku Astray out of storage so I can put the fucking Sengoku Astray on Fuunsaiki where it belongs. This is like one of the only horses I respect.
I wonder if the Sengoku Astray SD fits onto that World Heroes version of...
Ooh.
Because they just came out with that, I think, this year, maybe.
Yeah, it might, because SDs are so kind of like standardized in how they're shaped. It really wouldn't surprise me if it did fit. That'd be really cool. We see C is spying. This can be really confusing to say. Hitman Agent 47 is spying on Sei in his room as like Reiji leaves to go see the doctor to get a note that says he's okay and his wrist is back together. Of course, he is doing fine, and he meets up with Ayla as he leaves that clinic. Ayla was like, "Hey, Reiji," and Reiji's like, "How do you know my name?" And she says, "I saw it on the television." And she just asks him why he has fun with Gunpla, and he's just like, "I have fun because I decide to have fun. That's my choice. Goodbye."
Yeah, she does not like the notion that this is a fun thing.
Yeah, she's having a fucking character arc about it. It's fine. She'll come around.
And we get the match. We see Ricardo on his like Gundam bike. His Gundam unicycle, sorry.
I love his stupid unicycle so much.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing Gran Turismo, and he wins.
Yeah, I love, like, what, was this one of the Suitor guys?
Yeah, it's the German dude somewhere. I think the German dude gets fucking, like, blasted by Fellini literally every time he shows up. He's in a Lodo, I think.
Yeah, he gets completely obliterated. He's able, they win, we see everyone winning, we do get to see, Niels on the Gundam horse,
Giddy up, yeehaw!
I was thinking earlier how it is funny that, the American representative gets, like, a samurai gimmick,
Is he the American representative?
Yeah, they say it like, like Mr. Al says it when he's like going over like all the competitors. Like Niels is representing America for the World Tournament.
That's so fucking funny. I mean, I guess Ayla Jyrkanainen is Swedish, so I would have fucking expected Niels to also be Swedish, but no, damn, he's American. Fuck yeah, that rules.
Oh, yeah. That was part of his intro. It was really weird when I saw it. It's like, oh.
He's Mr. Worldwide. So we see Raul is driving China to the arena, and he's like, oh, he slept in, he's late. This is when he reveals he's 35, and she's like, excuse me, you're 35? Which is very funny considering Ramba Raul from Mobile Suit Gundam 0079 is 35 years old. They're
both 35 years old?
That, like, it's really funny to me, and I realize that in 6 months and 5 years, I will also be 35 years old.
This is the hardest 35 I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, it's a heavy 35. Let's be clear.
It's anime years.
I mean, yeah, he is like a fucking like battle-hardened soldier, but 35? Raul, are you okay? Do we gotta take you to like Ulta and get you some fucking like some products, man? Oh, it's rules. I love Raul so much. He's the character of ever. He sees C in the parking lot, and he tells Gina to go on ahead. I guess he knows enough to know that there is a Gunpla underworld and knows that there are Gunpla hitmen, because he goes after this guy as if, like, knowing who he is, which is really wild that he knows all this.
This is just becoming Mega Man Battle Network at this point.
Oh my god, it is. Oh my god, it really, really is. Damn.
And it will be when Build Divers happens.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like the
Uh-huh.
computer isekai. Go, Gundam.
The MMO.
EXE.
The Gundam MMO.
And they also put Mega Man Battle Network in the fucking new Pokemon games with those two new guys. We can't escape it. It's the year of Mega Man. Next year, the Battle Network collection comes out. Very excited.
And then Mega Man Legends 3. Oh.
Oh, Beans.
no.
Beans.
Wow, I am being a huge downer today.
He's still on that moon.
I bring up Glory of the Losers, and I remind of Legends 3 being canceled. Ugh.
Energy swords for Mega Man Volnut. May he rest in peace.
Yeah.
So they begin their race. Reiji and Sei like rocket ahead of the entire grid, and they all just like start shooting at him, which is according to plan because he has the cool absorption shield. So they just like slurp all the beams up and go into discharge mode and just like basically lap everyone. When they get over the lake in the second lap, though, they are ambushed and pulled underwater by something called the Hell Zeong Marine. This caught me off guard because I love the Zeong. It's the suit Char Asim use at the end of Mobile Suit Gundam, of the one that you don't need legs in space. It's the cool thing with like the rocket arms and the weird like red antlers and like the giant like heart-shaped torso that ends in just thrusters. This thing takes that design and it takes the antlers and they kind of like point upward like double horns, and it has these really long bladed nails, and it has just like a bunch of tentacles and like pinchy arm kind of like laser looking things. This is terrifying. This is really weird looking. I don't think there's a kit of this, unfortunately, but there should be.
And Mr. Raw like tracks him down and like he has to like get into a fight with him. It is
He gets his ass kicked first of all.
He really does get his ass kicked at first. He's only really able to win because just sheer determination. Like he's got a big bruise on his forehead. He does like a thing where C like punches him. He grabs the punch, kicks him, grabs the leg, and then just throws him onto like his little console. I also like it. It's fun that he's got like a little hijacker suitcase.
Yeah, I love like it almost feels custom Robo to me. He pops this thing open and it like has a little screen and like the little like controlling orbs that he can use to hack in. Very silly. And again, I don't know if C is actually based on anyone in particular, like Gundam wise, but because he's a dude in a trench coat. Hell, I can't even find like a wiki page on this fool, so it clearly doesn't really matter what this guy is. But regardless, he throws C into his briefcase, and the Zeong shuts down, so Sei and Reiji are able to destroy it, and like they use the RG system again, but like they put all of it in like their arms to like blast themselves out of the water, and then just like fly ahead, and they use like the last of their I almost fucking called them Pym particles. They use the last of their Plavsky particles to discharge and speed boost, and they're kind of like neck and neck with the Buku tank that the Argentinian brothers are using, and it's just this really dramatic building music, and they come in second.
They run out of boost. Their boost meter ran out.
This is so sad. This happens to me in Mario Kart all the time, and I get so mad.
It's so sad. Second place when you get this. Still beat nearly everyone except one person. Oh no!
But you get no points.
Yeah.
Nope.
And like they're like, oh shit, oh fuck, and you. It seems as if like they're losing. Clearly not with the next episode, but again, the fact that they get no points means that they haven't clinched it, and there's so many people behind them and so many people ahead of them that like now they're in 17th place, so they are currently out of the running unless they can get points for the next final round. And we get.
Yeah, we get a new ED.
This is some fucking like Mario 3D World ass music.
I like him. I like the bit where Reiji like kit bashes Build Strike into like something near unrecognizable. Like he's got he gets like a big drill arm and the gun tank treads.
It's funny. I like it.
Should have used those treads for the race.
No.
Would have won.
And yeah, we get the post-credit scene of Reiji like busting into Mashta's office, which is weird that this one's a post-credit scene because they're usually separate from the next episode, but this is exactly what happens at the beginning of next episode.
They gotta assure people that he is actually going to go after his ass for that.
Right, yeah. That's where the episode ends. And now it's time for us to talk about episode 15. Fighter's Radiance. After Raul exposits to the boys the reason C was after them, Reiji goes to confront Mashita. He clearly doesn't know that Mashita knows his identity, and just tells him that nobody better interfere with those trying their hardest in the tournament. Afterwards, Mashita nearly spills the secret of the Plavsky particles as he talks aloud, unaware that Nils is spying on him. The final round of this part of the tournament begins with the fighters having simple one-on-one battles. Sei and Reiji are up against Riccardo Fellini, whose fighting spirit refuses to let them win, even though he has clinched his spot in the finals. After a grueling battle, both the Wing Fenice and Starbuild are completely destroyed in a tie, but that tie gives the boys just enough points to make it to the round of 16 on their way to the finals. This one kicked ass.
Yeah.
This is just like a fucking buckle up. We're gonna like slam these Gundams together until something breaks.
But don't actually do that.
But don't, yeah, because Sei has to repair it. And Fellini also.
And especially don't do that in real life. Do you know how fragile Gundam are?
Oh no!
This brought to you by my fucking high new Vercod's backpack has been really flimsy lately.
Oh, oof. Oofa doof.
Yeah. I might be able to, like, I forgot what the name of it is, but there's something to help tighten the hinge so it can attach. And if nothing else, I can cement it.
That's true. So this one starts out with Raul explaining like who C is. He's a Gunpla Mafia guy. So the organization is literally called the Gunpla Mafia. And he deduces that like someone's clearly after the boys. So Reiji goes. He walks to Mashita to confront him. He beats all of his henchmen up on the hallway, which is kind of insane. But he clearly doesn't understand that Mashita like knows his identity because he's just like, hey, make sure this doesn't happen again. And Mashita's like, okay, yeah, sorry, man. Sure, whatever. Like, clearly not knowing that Mashita's the one who sent all these guys up against him.
Yeah, whenever a kid busted into my office and all my henchmen got knocked out, I'm just going to agree with whatever he says.
Yeah, pretty much. And there's only one round left to get to 16th place because the final round is going to start soon. We finally learned that Mashita's secretary's name is Baker. And he's like in her lap talking about how he's scared of Reiji, even though Reiji doesn't remember him. So I'm starting to think that Mashita might also be from Arion based on what he's saying.
Yeah.
He almost like spills a secret about what the Plavsky particles are. And like Baker freaks out and runs to the window and looks around thinking she's being watched. And it turns out she actually is because Nils is fucking Sam Fishering right above the window.
He's got like this whole ninja get up. It's great.
Very good. Nils rules. And Nils is like, damn, he almost said it. So we still don't really know yet, but we know that Nils is like trying to find out. We cut, I guess, the next day. Meijin Kawaguchi is doing the fucking that comic about the guy doing whatever. Oh god, I don't know what that exercise machine is, but it's the one where he's like, I'm gonna get so good at hugging. That's what he's doing. He's getting really good at hugging with his exercise machine.
Yeah, he's pumping iron. He's told he's going to go against a guy named Khalifa from Oman. He doesn't know or care who this guy is, but there is a more interesting match coming up.
Yeah.
Sei and Reiji are going up against Riccardo Fellini, and if they win, they will be able to make it to the tournament or the finals. And if they don't win, they're out. They're fucking done.
Gotta go home.
Yeah.
Get fired up. We see the battles are beginning. We see Luong Dalara is fighting this gigantic like it's from Double O because I can see all of the Jin particle things on it. We see Nils. He's fighting a Psycho Gundam painted like Zambot 3, which I noticed, and I was like, oh shit, fuck, that's from old school mecha. Mao defeats a Zanuck. Kawaguchi fights a Legend Gundam. And later that night, we see Karara, who is not in her idol getup. She's just in her regular, like, civilian clothes because she has, like, the purple hair and the freckles. Fellini comes to hit on her, and she thinks that he's just saying hi because he knows her, but he's like, oh, I don't... She's like, oh, shit, I didn't recognize you, Karara. After she, like, pulls her hair up in pigtails to be like, hey, it's me, you know?
It's this bit's fun.
Yeah.
They have whiskey. She congratulates him and like points out, if you threw this match, then they would win, and you would all get to go to the finals. And this is like really weighing down on Fellini because like, could I really throw a match? Is it for a greater good? But I couldn't. I never would.
It's not the Warriors' way. I'm glad. I mean, like, he kind of like awkwardly is like, "Oh, that's exactly what I was gonna say." Haha. But like, I'm glad that Fellini doesn't, because again, the Warrior spirit.
Yeah.
Also, what would guarantee that the two would face each other again? Like, this might be their last chance to actually fight each other.
Yeah, it's just a round of 16. So like, if they're on other sides of the tournament, they have to make it to the finals together. And part of me kind of thinks that the finals are probably going to be Sei and Reiji against Kawaguchi, so we'll see. But it's this awkward moment. And like, as he thinks about it, he reflects on how cool Sei himself is for building such a cool Gundam like Star Build. He knows that like he's finally awakening his skills as a pro builder, and like he kind of wants to let the boys win because they're good boys and they deserve to get into the finals. But like, it's not him. He has to fight them. He has to give it his all. He is the Italian champ after all.
Mm-hmm. He's sort of like talking to Fenice, his Gundam, about it. And then we get some more Gunpla battles.
Yeah.
I don't know the names of these Gunpla, so you tell me.
Yeah, we see a Doga. It's firing its funnels at Isla, and Isla's like, "Oh, cool funnels, dude. Mine are invisible. Goodbye." She wins. And again, the boys walk by Isla after she wins, and they don't say hi because they don't recognize her in the suit. But she doesn't fully walk away because she sees that Sei and Reiji are up next, so she kind of like stands in like the wing or like the little like entryway, and her handler's like, "Hey, you gonna watch? You never watch." And she's like, "Well, I'm gonna watch now. Whatever." The battle begins, and like I guess they're not like playing chicken. I think both Reiji and Fellini are like thinking about ways the other's gonna try and fake them out. So this end up just like fucking knocking heads with their gunpla. Like no weapons or anything. They just like straight up bonk into each other. It's very silly.
Yeah. It's a great opener.
Yeah.
And then they start like, shooting each other. They're in like this, they're in a DBZ, arena. They're in a DBZ wasteland.
Yeah, it's like it's the canyon where Goku and Vegeta fought for the first time. It's a very like, it's like dusk too. It's really dark out.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna use the shield to like reflect beams, but Fellini just slices it in half.
Yeah, Fellini's like out for blood here. As much as he like kind of wants to go easy on them, he's like, actually fuck them kids, because he busts the shield apart. He like shoots their thrusters off, and Kirara in the booth is like, "What the fuck? This guy told me that he was gonna go easy on him." They're getting their asses like completely beat, and basically like the star build is kind of left. Enough is destroyed that the star build has essentially gone back to being just like their regular build strike Gundam, where all it has is a beam saber. You gotta remember your roots, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Then like they get an idea, and so at this point Build Strike has had like an arm ripped off or something, or no?
Yeah, it's like that happens at some point.
Yeah,
it's just like it's a mess at this point.
Yeah, like they go off into a cavern and set off a trap for Fellini to get caught in, and start like firing. But then like Fellini shoots the gun and like damages it, so it's just the beam saber now. And like they're both badly injured, and Fellini thinks to himself about his like gunpla career of being a little boy playing with his Gundam, and how like over the years he got like better and like modified Fenice further and further until it resembled its current form, and he was at his current skill.
He built it to win, not to be just a display piece.
Mm-hmm. And they're both like badly hurt. They're like missing arms. They've just got their beam sabers. And this is when like they activate the real good system, and just go all out against Fellini. They're like really exchanging like close quarters blows. They're shooting their little head lasers. They do like a little beam saber clash. Fellini turns off his beam saber and like dodges the swing and like goes straight through the middle of Build Strike, and then Build Strike goes for the overhead. It's fucking cool. They're just fucking each other up real bad.
It's brutal. This is the end of Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah, and then they like punch each other's heads off.
It's so sick. This is Gunpla. This is little plastic robots, and this is like the sickest fight I've ever seen.
Uh-huh.
You're pretty good.
It's a fucking Gundamian Tuant.
Yeah, it's an Italian Tuant, please.
It's an Italian Tuant. And like they end up clashing fists in one final struggle, and like an explosion happens, and as the smoke clears, they're standing for a second, and they both collapse like onto each other, and it ends in a draw.
Yeah, and as it turns out, yeah,
this was giving me flashbacks to the fight with the Zaku Amazing.
Yeah, it's very much like a fight to the finish.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of losing, they draw. So they're progressing.
Yeah, it wasn't clear to me at first that they actually got points for doing this, because like everyone's like completely silent, like there's like tears in everyone's eyes, and then like one guy starts slow clapping, and then the entire arena like slow claps to like this rapturous applause, and Say like apologizes to Starbuild because he completely fucked this thing up. But they got 2 points, which makes them they are in 16th place now, and Mashita is like, shit, fuck, god damn it, these kids moved on. I have beans. Oh no.
Screw you, old man!
Oh no. And like the last little bit, we see Sei and Fellini. They're building Gunpla together. They're repairing it, like asking for parts from each other. And like Reiji is just like eating mochi on the bed. He's like, "Hey, is that fun for you?"
Mm-hmm.
It's
and
cute. I like. I want mochi.
They say at the same time, it sure is.
Yeah, God, it's a good show. It's so nice that it's so low stakes and still has these like completely batshit moments like what just happened. It's real.
I'm glad they at least acknowledge, no, they did actually get into the finals, because otherwise this would be a hell of a cliffhanger, not just for the series, but for this podcast.
I would have been like, what the fuck, I gotta watch it now! But yay, they did it, yay, hooray!
Yay!
It's good. And yeah, those are the episodes this week. So I guess like a little more than halfway through the show, and we're like now in the final round of 16, so unless we spend entire episodes on other fighters, or like what's more likely to happen, something bad is going to happen and they have to postpone the tournament. I'm wondering how the rest of the show is going to be paced. But it looks like, based on the previews, the next episode might be about Sei's dad, so who knows? Maybe a flashback.
Yeah, I think there's about 10 episodes left.
Yep.
Next episode's literally titled, Dad, We Meet Again.
Whoa.
It's time. It's time to meet Papa.
Papa! So I have a Beyond Toon World.
You're going to love this. Trust me. Beyond Toon World!
All right.
And I'm pretty sure this definitely is not someone I've talked about before, because I don't think I was doing Beyond Toon Worlds for this show back when I did original Gundam. Because I'm talking about Masashi Hirose, the voice of Ral. This guy was born November 6th, 1947 in Osaka, Japan. And you might guess from his birth date that yes, he voiced Ramba Ral in the original Gundam.
Yep.
And he was a spry 32 years old when he voiced him, not 35.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, like he's been doing it for a long ass time, since the mid 70s. He has not. It doesn't seem like he's voice acted since 2014. Apparently, he was hospitalized. He's not dead, but he hasn't done any work since. So I hope he recovers and is doing well. Regardless, though, this guy's been in like a lot of 70s and 80s mecha stuff. One of his earliest roles in 1978, he was in Daitarn 3 as Ghost. 79 in Gundam, he was Ramba Ral, like I mentioned. He's a bunch of background characters in 1980s Ideon. In 1983, Votoms, he was Kan Yu, Dr. Fusen, and a bunch of other background characters. 1985's SPT Leisner, he's Gustero. 1985, my favorite show's name to say aloud, Dunkuga Super Beast Machine God. He's Godam. In City Hunter, he's Inagaki. In 1988's Gunbuster, More Mecha, he is Yuzo Takaya. In 1988's Legends of the Galactic Heroes, he is Arthur Lynch. This one's kind of fucking funny, though. In 1989's Japanese dub of The Simpsons.
Oh, hell yes.
He's Apu, he's Barney, and he's Sideshow Mel.
Okay, sure.
Wow.
So whenever you see fucking Barney from The Simpsons, that's Ramba Ral.
Uh-huh.
In 1992's Techno Man, he is Colonel Carter. Hey, here's one. 1994's G Gundam. He voiced the Emperor of Neo China, as well as a character called Douglas. And let me tell you, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Douglas, you know.
It's my friend Douglas from Neo Douglas. This is one I do recognize, though. 1995's Gundam Wing, he's Master O. He is Wu Fei's Gundam doctor, I think. In 1996, a little OVA called the Gundam 08th MS Team, he is Barresto Rosita. He voices Kurt in Pokemon anime from 97. I guess it would have been like 2001, because that's when Gold and Silver came out. 1998's Cowboy Bebop, he was Fad. 1998's Get a Robo Armageddon, he was Dr. Stinger and voices him in like all of the Super Robot Wars that he shows up in, as well as like every other, mecha character that shows up in the Super Robot Wars is his voice. In 1999 One Piece, I don't know why it says 99, because clearly this happened later when it was like dubbed and for like a later arc. He voiced a character called Riku Dold the Third, who is the fucking like king of Dressrosa. So that's like pretty recent anime wise for him to show up. He's an old man at that though. In 2002's Gundam Seed, he voiced Sahib Ashman. 2004's Paranoia Agent, he was Akihiro Takamine. 2004 Bleach, he is Oscar Joaquin de la Rosa. God, what a fucking Tite Kubo name. Dude, don't miss. He voices Hades in the Fairy Tail anime. In 2010, Umi Neko, he voices Hideyoshi Ushiromiya. He is Rise Kotomine in 2011's Fate Zero. The last two are some pretty heavy hitters. So in a lot of the Marvel MCU movies, Avengers, Thor 2, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Winter Soldier, and Guardians of the Galaxy, he voices the Stan Lee cameo, which is kind of cute.
Oh.
And yeah.
I'm just looking at some of his other roles.
I hope you haven't seen the fucking grand finale.
All right, go ahead.
In the Japanese dub of critically acclaimed 2010 game Fallout New Vegas,
Yeah.
he's Mr. House.
Yes.
That's so good.
Ramba Ral is Mr. House.
Mm-hmm.
That's so fucking good.
I also want to point out he voices in Umineko When They Cry. He's Hideyoshi or Ushiromiya, and in Gregory Horror Show he voices Death.
Tremendous. It's so good that he's Mr. House. I can't get over that. That's like all
Ramba
time
House.
to me. Ramba House. The Ra always wins. And that's our Beyond Tomb World on Masashi Hirose. Get well soon. We love you. And that's us for this week. Good work, everyone. Where can we find each other on the internet? Dan?
I'm Dan. You can find me at a lot of places. You can find those places at biggerchallenge.card.co. That includes the other podcasts I'm on, which include Pod of Greed, a Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast I'm on with Max. We're very, very close to finishing Yu-Gi-Oh! GX.
2 weeks away.
Yep. Just 2 regular episodes, one which will be recorded soon, and then a wrap-up episode. You can listen to the Sonic Shuffle, a Sonic podcast. It's about Sonic stuff. The most recent episode to go up was our episode 100 special, the Starline Shuffle, about Devin's favorite character, Dr. Starline, and his adventures in the IDW series Bad Guys. You can listen to Video Games, the movie, the podcast, a video game movie review podcast I do with my friend Maxie. On our most recent recording was on Professor Layton and the Eternal Diva. That should go up soon enough. Our next one is going to be on the live-action Warcraft film. You can listen to... Actually, yeah, those are the main podcasts. Also, there's my Twitter, my Tumblr. Both of those are Bigger Challenge. There's my co-host, cohost.org/big challenges, and from there you'll be able to find you'll be able to find some of the other you'll be able to find some of the other co-hosts I made, including the ones I made for those podcasts, the one I made for my art, and you can also visit at Xbox_holiday, where Usher celebrates holidays with Xbox. I know these episodes usually go up pretty quick, so while it's still November, happy George H.W. Bush Death Day, Xbox.
Fuck yeah.
Alright, that's it for me.
Cool. Yuria?
On the crumbling platform known as Twitter, you can find me at Yurgal Yuria. On co-host, you can find me at just Yuria. I have both of those have my commission sheet pinned. I am currently looking for work for this holiday season while we are getting in the process of moving to the East Coast.
Woo! East Coast, Beast Coast. And I'm Max. You can find me on Twitter at MaxyBajillion. As Dan mentioned, listen to Pod Agreed. We're almost done with GX. Listen and catch up so you can understand all of the fucking Pod Agreed lore, so you can be ready to go when we start 5Ds next year. You can go to Slappers Only Pod on Twitter and NVM the Trollocs on Twitter to listen to two of my other podcasts that haven't been updated in quite a while, but will be at some point. And thank you to Noisepace.xyz for hosting this show. You can go here and find our shows, many, many more. A lot of quality abounds in Noisepace.xyz. Go to WowCool Podcast on Twitter and WowCool Robot on co-host, which I haven't really set up yet. To check us out, there's Discord links in the Twitter little episode, header? Website. One of those things. It's up there. It's also in every episode description, so come hang out with us. It's fun. Post your gunpla. I need to live vicariously until my shipment comes in February. And now that we are done, whose turn? This is the 6th episode? Whose turn is it for Robot of the Week? Is it mine? No, that can't be right.
Well, let me think. I think
1, 2, 3. Shit, it might be mine.
I think so, because I've had 2. Dan has 2.
Yeah, let me think. I think I've only done one proper Robot of the Week, but also there was the week where we did both of ours.
Yeah, so you've done 2, Yuria, you've done 2, I've done 1. Okay, it is my turn, damn. Shit. My Robot of the Week. Oh shit, I wasn't prepared. I'm never prepared for this. Alright. I've been playing Pokemon. And in the G-Witch episode last week, I mentioned a Pokemon. And it's not gonna be that Pokemon. But it's gonna be one of the new Pokemon. And I need to look at this list to make sure I know.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Fuck, I got this. I should have had this ready to go. God damn it. It's so new, I haven't fully internalized all of the new Pokemon yet. I
think the future one are all iron something, right?
Yeah. So there's a fucking whole. You know what? I'm not gonna pick a new Pokemon. I'm gonna pick Golurk. He's kind of a robot, kind of not. He's sort of a ghost. But Golurk is a ghost and ground type Pokemon. That's just this gigantic earthen statue being piloted from the inside by some kind of spirit. He's really cool. One of the coolest Gen 5 Pokemon, I think. He's kind of a robot.
He's very robot designed.
Yeah, for my intents and purposes, he is a robot. He's just this really cool guy, really pleasing color scheme, really fun to use. Again, this just fucking hit you real hard, earthquake, shadow punch type shit.
Yeah, I love his design.
Oh, his design is so good.
So you got the spiked shoulders.
I'm now looking up Mega Golurk, which looks even more like a mech.
Well, that would be a fan design. There's not a Mega Golurk
fan design
in actuality, unfortunately. But yeah, a lot of the Mega Golurks kind of there are many Mega Golurks, and a lot of them lean in more of just like make him like a Centurion robot, which again, hard to go wrong that way. But he's a delightful creature. We love Golurk. And that's my robot of the week. So, thank you all for tuning in. Next week will be G-Witch. Week after will be more of Build. So, as we always say, if I remember it right, buy our toys.
Wow, cool robot.
Buy our toys.
Bye. That's all. That's right. I was like, fuck, do we have any more to say? No, we don't. Goodbye.
Nope. Bye.
Bye.
Go, go, go.
Go, shit, get out of here.